What is going on, everyone? My name is Andy. Welcome back to another Euro 2020 fancy video. It's team selection time for match day 3. There's another match day. So what does that mean? Of course it means there's another chip active. Wildcard this time. A completely new team for the third game in a row. I'm going to talk you through the team, do some tinkering, but obviously show you how I'm doing from match day 2 and what my total points are as well. So give it a like if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button and let's take a look at match day 2. So I'm only on 46 points. It's not awful. I've still got a few players to come, but it's pretty poor. 131 overall. Still in the top 10k though, which is quite nice, but that might change after today. And there's been a few mistakes, both kind of my own fault and not my own fault. Like, you're about to see why managing your team in this kind of format is so important. But 2 changes I made quite late on. Well, 3 really, right? One was good. I bought in Bale. He played brilliantly. He could have had a mega score. But the other 2 changes were Dumfries out for Fernandes from Russia, and then Wijnaldum in for Perisic, who also scored for Croatia. So it wasn't great. Now, it's fine margins because Depay had the assist for Malen, and Malen decided to pass instead of shoot. Great decision, by the way. But from a fantasy perspective, it would have meant that Dumfries didn't have his goal, so his mega haul would have been a little bit less mega, although still mega. And Depay would have had his assist. I would have stuck on captain, and it wasn't to be. The Dumfries move is kind of unforgivable, but at the same time, Fernandes got himself injured for Russia, who kept a clean sheet, by the way, while he was in this, like, basically the 6-yard box trying to win a header from open play. That's how attacking he was. So a little bit frustrated by that. And also, I've made my subs before seeing any early team news, and Hernandez apparently is not even playing for France. He's on the bench, and Luca Dean's coming in, which means I've taken out Meunier's 2 points to put in Hernandez, who probably won't come on at all. I am recording this after the England game, don't want to talk about it, and before the French game. So by the time you see this video, you'll know what those French players got. Mbappe's going to be my captain. So I've switched from day 1, which was Insigne, to Depay, to Kane, and now we're going for Mbappe. So hopefully he comes in with a big score, and Alba gets me something later on. We'll take a look at my team in a minute, but first of all, let's talk about Ultimate Fan. So here's a quick reminder. If you are not already playing Ultimate Fan, go right now. Click that link in the description below. If you're 18 and over from the UK or from Ireland, download it and start playing right now. It is never too late to start because every single match day is a new contest. So I'm playing throughout Euro 2020. It's free to play and there is money up for grabs as well. Now, you can give yourself a little bit of an advantage with gold or silver subscription, which gets you a few extra packs as well, but they are capped. You can't just go and buy as many as you want. And I'm going to show you what I got now for match day 2. So I'm going to bring the pack up now, right, and take a look at it, see what I got. This was for match day 2. So Chanaloglu was my first pick out. Didn't do well in match day 2, but not a bad fixture for 3. Kleinheiser, no good really. But Lobotka, what's interesting about that is, doesn't look like a great pick, but that's a diamond card. So there's only 1% of all cards in the game have that diamond, which means they're very, very rare. And when the marketplace opens, when the guys add new features to the app, it'll be worth more. Plus there'll be achievements and stuff for collecting diamond cards, and also you'll get bonus packs for that and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm quite happy with that. Plus I'll get another pack for match day 3 on Sunday as well to keep improving my squad. So what you can see is my current team from match day 2, right, at the time we're recording this. I've only got 14 points so far. It's not going great. I'm 2,783rd. If you click on that, you can see the leaderboard, right? If you click onto that as well, you can see some people are on like 83 points. But because there's a new match day every single week, all hope is not lost. So I can click onto Marcus's team, for example. De Bruyne, captain. Gareth Bale obviously had a great game. And Locatelli. So before that match, no one's thinking that they're going to win anything with Locatelli. And at the time right now, potentially $2,000 up for grabs. But if you look at my team, right, it might not look pretty for match day 2, but for match day 3, someone like Muller looks excellent because he's got Hungary, right? So every single match day there's a new contest, which is great. Make sure you give it a download, by the way. Link in the description. And the other cool thing is as well, they have updated the scoring system. So 10 points for a goal still, which is cool. 4 points for the assist, but you also get 2 for a shot on target. So if you have one of those matches where your player's constantly shooting, the ball is just not going in the net, but it's on target, that's extra points. And you also get 1 point for a tackle 1 as well. So some of those players that maybe aren't necessarily going to score, they might still chip in with some points. So that is my team as it stands. I'm probably going to bring Lena in for Austria, maybe make it 1 or 2 other changes, but I'll get another pack on Sunday, and so will any of you that sign up for the gold subscription as well. So make sure you check it out. Link in the description below. Click on that. 18 or over from the UK and Ireland. You've got to play it. There's no time lost. Match day 3, it's a new contest. So I'm almost certainly going to wildcard this week. I've got a few players who could play, like Wijndal, for example, for Netherlands, but I'm not massively confident. I've got no German players. There's a few other players that I probably want to change around, and depending on what the Italian team sheet is as well, like all 3 of my players might not be playing. So I've got to wildcard, and I will react to that Italy team news, right? I'll definitely be around on Sunday to take advantage of that. The big thing this week is trying to get players that are definitely going to play, and also have something to play for, as well as a good fixture. So, for example, right in the middle of this team, you would have seen me do this last week on Limitless, and I ended up changing it because I found out they weren't going to probably start. But De Bruyne and Hazard, Eden Hazard, of course, they should start this game. Martinez talked after the game about how they need minutes. They need to... Basically, he said... and I'm paraphrasing a bit, and this was an English translation from a Belgian article, but it basically said that they need them to start to see where they're at, basically to see how far they can go during the game before they get to the knockouts, right? Belgium are already through to the next round. We already know that. So it doesn't mean they'll get 90 minutes, and I'd be almost certain that Hazard won't get 90 minutes, but I feel like he's such a good player, it's worth the punt. And De Bruyne looked brilliant, right? That's not just a knee-jerk off his points, but he looked really good. And it's Finland, the weakest team in that group. It should be a good game for Belgium. So those 2 are in as it stands. The German players, I've got Gnabry and Gozens. I think that's probably going to be the 2 that I go for. I might go for a third. Either Havertz in midfield if I can fit him in, or maybe change Morata for Muller. But I do like Spain having Slovakia on the last day. I do think that is a good fixture. And there's obviously some speculation about whether Morata will start or not, whether... someone else will come in, etc., like Moreno. But when I saw a quote, right? So Luis Enrique was asked who's going to start or whether Morata's going to start, and he said something like the team will be Morata plus 10 players, and that just shows you the kind of confidence he has in him. Like ultimately, results matter, especially in a short tournament like this. But Spain versus Sweden, Spain created quite a lot, I thought. And on another day, Morata or someone else from that team puts them away. So he seems to have quite a bit of confidence in him. Spain needs something from the final day as well. So if Morata starts again in match day 2, and again, maybe by the time you see this video, you'll know that, I'm tempted to go with him for match day 3 because his record for Spain is actually really good. I know, we watch him, it seems frustrating. He's always missing, he's always offside, but he is a good player deep down, right? So he's in, but that could change. Yaremchuk and Malen are in. Now, the Netherlands side is tricky because, and I think I probably confused a few people on my last video, the reports out of Netherlands are that De Boer basically said that they need to keep practicing this 5 at the back, and therefore he might not completely rotate in the last game. But on the flip side, they are through, and they are probably going to want to rest some players. The key is trying to figure out who those players are. So for me, Dumfries, will he start again? He's been so integral to the way they've played. Will they really want to put someone else in? I'm not sure, and I'm kind of a little bit of afraid to go without him, if I'm completely honest. Whereas up front, you've had Depay and Weghorst. Could they maybe bench one of them? Maybe play Depay and then bring in Marlon, because he was quite good off the bench as well. So that is a bit of a punt. And once I get to tomorrow, Sunday's deadline, we'll see how kind of brave or risky I'm feeling. But I just can't imagine they play the same 11 players again when they're through. I know, winning mentality, keep on winning games, keep on scoring goals, etc. Get the most points you can. I get that. But they can easily win this game against North Macedonia without having their full 11. So I like the game, which is why I've got 3 Netherlands players, Stecklenburg, Dumfries and Marlon. But also, obviously, there are a few concerns. So I'll have to wait and see how that kind of pans out. As always, this obviously isn't the team that I would start with. I would put my Italian players on the team, but I think it's worth just trying to put the most interesting and the most expensive players on the pitch. So for Italy, I've got Spinazzola and Berardi, but that really doesn't matter because unlike today, where I've missed the Hernandez news and already subbed him in, I will not forget to check the Italy news before that Wales game, and we will have the lineups for Italy, Wales, and Switzerland and Turkey before the match starts. So I'm thinking either Spinazzola, Berardi, etc. just don't get rotated and they just keep on playing most of these players to keep up the level they've been performing at, to keep them gelling together, being ready for the knockouts. Or if they do rotate, then hopefully there'll be a 4.5 million Italian defender in which case he can swap for Spinazzola. And I'm sure if Berardi misses out, it'll be Chiesa anyway. So Chiesa and a 4.5 million defender at the same price as Spinazzola and Berardi. So I'm not too worried about that. Some of this team is just placeholders, and they are two of them. The Spanish defence is one that I want to cover. As long as Torres and Laporte start again in Matchday 2, I'll be fairly confident they'll start again in Matchday 3. So Torres for 4.5 million looks pretty good. I think that's got to be one of the best options for a clean sheet this week, along with probably Belgium against Finland, Germany as well. Obviously, Scotland played well against England, but they still haven't scored in this tournament. They've probably been a bit unlucky, to be honest. Maybe more so in the first game than against England. Like, they played really well. There wasn't a huge amount of clear-cut chances. Like, if you look at the expected data, I think Scotland were less than one. So Perisic or maybe a Croatian defender could be good, but I think Italy, Netherlands, Germany, and probably Spain and Belgium is where I'm trying to target my defence. I was quite impressed with Denmark, though, against Belgium. In fact, quite impressed is probably understating it. I was very impressed. It's not how I expected them. Not because I doubted their ability, but obviously with everything going on, very hard to then suddenly be ready a few days later to play again. And they were brilliant. So I think against Russia, that's going to be a tough game for Russia. If you remember originally when I built my team, I said that if I could maybe get through Matchday 3 without having to wildcard or use a chip, that having Mela and Kier possibly for Finland and then Russia in Matchday 3 was good. So I think it's easy to forget about how good they are because of what happened. And obviously they have conceded in both games. But the Finland game, obviously we just kind of write off as just a more than a freak result, right? You know that. And I think against Russia they could do really good. So Mailer in as a 4.5 million option. Bearing in mind this is a wild card, so I can't go completely crazy on the players I pick. And then right now I've got Sofanov in goal from Russia. Not hugely sure about that, but I think a 4 million goalie is what I want to unlock the value elsewhere. I think if I had a space and I had the money, I would probably change Stecklenburg to Simone from Spain, because I think double Spain defence is just better than one Spain, one Netherlands. And to be fair, I've got double Netherlands as well already as well. So, yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. 2 German players, I probably should try and get 3. But I don't think there's too many players in there that I hate. So let's do some tinkering on the main page, and I'll run through my captains and thoughts and stuff like that as well. So this is the team in the main Euro 2020 page, right? So I've got 0.3 million left over. There have been price rises, etc. So, you know, there's not straight just 0.5 or 0 left over anymore. So it's hard to spend that with the team that I've got. Just really quickly before we talk about some changes, let's look at captaincy. So day one, I really ideally want to captain a Italian player, whether that's Berardi, Insigne, maybe Belotti starts instead of Immobile. If he does, I'll probably put him in. Not because I think he's necessarily massively better than any other option, 8 million or less, but in a week where there could be a lot of rotation, if you can get 3 players from the get-go that are definitely going to start in a really good Italian team against Wales, I think you take that. So that's what I'll be looking at. On day 2, it's probably De Bruyne or Hazard. I think most people are going to go De Bruyne. I may go Hazard just to go a little bit different. I'm not sure. Like in FPL, I never do that. I always, if I think a captain's the best, then I'll pick them, even if 70% of the FPL game are going to do the same. Right? I just don't care, because over the course of the season, stuff starts to even out. Sometimes you get a captain haul that other people don't go for. But in this, there really is hardly any time. I just want to go for it. Like, at the end of the day, if it goes wrong, so be it, right? FPL will be around soon anyway. So I'm thinking Hazard, but I might go De Bruyne. The only thing that draws me to De Bruyne, really, is, apart from the fact he's great as well, I think he's probably got more minutes in him. He came on for more minutes in the last game than Hazard. Hazard's obviously been building up. I think De Bruyne will just play for longer. Obviously, Netherlands versus North Macedonia is definitely a consideration for captaincy, but if it was Depay definitely starting, then I would think about it. But I think it's going to be a Belgian player. So we're going to go Italy, Belgium. This day, it should be Kane, but I just England, like, look, 4 points is okay, right? If you said beforehand, you're getting 4 points, 0-0 versus Croatia, 1-0 against Scotland, I'd probably take it. But the fact that it's happened the other way around and the manner of the result and the lack of attacking impetus, right, from everyone on the pitch yesterday, it kind of puts me off. It shouldn't do, because playing, I said this pre-match, by the way, playing Czech Republic is not the same as playing Scotland. That was always going to be a huge game. The fans, the team were all up for it from Scotland, and they played really well as well. So I don't know if I can bring it in me to find the money for Kane. So I'm probably going to go Perisic against Scotland. Maybe that'll come back to bite me, but that's probably where I'm going to go. And then last day, I'll decide. Okay, so since I started recording, when I said about Morata playing, from what I can see, there's a few leaked lineups now for Spain. Morata is going to start, but so is Moreno, and Torres isn't going to start. So that's a big one. So I don't know about the amount of rotation in that Spain team that might put me off, in which case it'll probably just be Gnabry. So I think that's fine. Italian, Hazard or De Bruyne, Perisic if I'm stuck, and then Gnabry on the last day, maybe Muller if I put him in. So that's what I'm thinking with captaincy. In terms of changes, so straight away, Morata can come out, and I think Muller is 9 as well. Yeah, so Muller could come in as my third German player. That's a potential move for sure. If I got wind that someone like Wijnaldum was starting, I'd consider taking out one of the Belgian players to give me 2 million to spend elsewhere. But a lot of this is placeholders. So I think Mela and Torres, again, Torres apparently is starting, by the way. You'll know later by the time you see this video. And Mela are definitely going to start. Dumfries is obviously a little bit of a concern, but he could be Meunier. So Belgium don't have a huge amount of genuine right wing back options. Even Chadley, who's played there before, is injured at the moment. I don't think he's going to make the game. So Meunier is someone I really like, and I think that Finland game is one to target. So he could come in instead of Dumfries. I think Gosens is a lock for me. And like I said to you before, Berardi and Spinazzola, I'm just going to wait for the team and go from there. But let's just say that Belotti was an option. Then I would probably take out Yaremchuk and try and find the money elsewhere. It does get quite difficult though, because you've got to find 0.7. So it'd probably have to be Muller out for another 8 million. Like in Bolo maybe against Turkey, because Turkey have just been so poor. What I'm going to do before I finalise this, tomorrow, is check the odds. Okay, so I had a look for the clean sheet odds. So apparently, and this is from FPL Salah on Twitter. So Belgium 60%, Spain 60%. Bearing in mind, England was 60% against Scotland, and that came through. So they're usually quite good. So Belgium, Spain, Germany, Italy, and Netherlands are the top. So one of the 4.5s I could risk would be Wijndal, although I've got Stecklenburg. So I've covered off Belgium with Meunier, Torres with Spain. I'm just looking here. Gosens, Germany, Italy, Spinazzola, and then Netherlands with Stecklenburg. The next down, then it's England, Ukraine, Austria, but I just don't know if I'm going to go for any English players. I think Maguire could come in for Mings, and the rest of them are quite expensive to the point where I probably wouldn't put them in over any of these players. And I'll also check the goal scoring odds as well, just to see if I'm absolutely missing anyone. But I think that's a pretty good core, right? I think I have to accept there's going to be some rotation. The fact that we can sub on and off players is going to help with that. I need to just keep it on the team sheets a bit better, unlike the Hernandez debacle of Matchday 2. But that's roughly where I'm coming from, I think. Let me know what you think about that wildcard team. There we go. That is it for this one. Please do give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you've enjoyed it. Hopefully the France match was good and Mbappe has come away with a few returns. Again, this video will probably go out about 4:15 after that game, then before the other couple today. And obviously the deadline for Matchday 3 is 5 o'clock on Sunday. So I'll probably do a deadline stream if I can fit one in on a Sunday around 3:30. Something like that, so make sure to keep an eye on it. Also, side note, I really hope FPL never bring in captaincy and sub changes. I know why people like them, but I already almost missed Ronaldo being subbed in for the first day. Now I've just subbed in Hernandez. I've taken my captaincy off a 6-pointer and got 2 from Kane, and now I'm relying on Mbappe. It does add an element of risk and fun, which I do quite like. But I also like the fact it's over after 7 match days. I think with FPL over 38 weeks, I don't think I could take the stress. Imagine how many reminders you'd have to put on your phone. Anyway, I'm leaving it there. Have a good weekend. Please do hit that like button. The support is already great before the start of FPL preseason. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy fancy content. And I will see you tomorrow for a deadline stream where I try and lock in my wildcard.